Hi, I'm Kip Walby, and thanks for joining me on a special edition of the Mayor's Corner. We're here to provide some information regarding the lead supply line issue, so it won't actually be a typical one where it's a long one. This was going to be a little shorter, briefer, trying to just provide the information out to the residents, and I'm happy to have here our City Manager, Matt Koppler, and our Director of Department of Public Works, Brian Babcock. So, gentlemen, thanks for coming, and let's get right into it here. And talk, Brian, first a little bit about history, right? We have known that we've had these lead supply lines, right, in St. Clair Shores, as many other communities do.
Yes. For over 20 years, we have been sampling for lead. As the state requirements have evolved over the years,
Sure.
We have been testing for lead.
And actually, since I guess I would say the Flint issue, the parts per billion have come down, right? I mean, that's...
Yep, so the levels of exceedance have decreased, and also the way that we sample has changed. As you can see, we used to just take one sample out of the first bottle. Now we take two samples, and because of the Flint crisis, they've realized you want to take samples from not only inside your house, but out in your water service line. That's where it's critical. You need to test for lead in that part of your property.
So, since we've had this issue, Matt, right, I think the biggest questions we get is the water safe in St. Clair Shores?
And unequivocally, yes, it is very safe. Again, what we've done and what the state has done is develop an exceedance area where we have to start educating the public about lead. And the only areas where the lead is really impacting our residents are those homes that have lead lines. And if you don't have a lead line, you're in the free here.
And lead service line, tell me, I'm a resident, where is that?
Well, the city has a water main that supplies water to all the homes on your street. And that water main, it's a larger pipe and it runs parallel to your street, down the street. Connecting off of that is service lines that run up to the sidewalk. And from the sidewalk, there's a stop box where your water line can be turned on and off. From there, going under your front lawn and into your house, that's the water service line that is of concern. It's a private water line owned by the homeowner that has the potential for it being lead material if your home was built in the 20s, 30s, 40s, is what we historically have found.
And as you say those years, that doesn't mean all of homes built in 1928, 1932, right? I mean, lead was one of them, but you also could have got a galvanized one.
Absolutely. We have found a number of homes that were built as early as 1920 that still, they used galvanized pipe, they used copper, and also lead. It was just one of the available materials for builders back at that time. So if you have an older home, it does not mean that you absolutely have a lead service.
Matt, we have,
656 approximately.
That's what we believe. Now,
Yes.
we know that, or we believe we know that from what? From the cards that we have, correct? That's how we know it.
Yes, the DPW has been working for many years actually going through looking at the property cards that talk about when the house was built, what type of service line was put in. And so we have a pretty good understanding. It's not perfect. There could be those times where we may, have it's lead and it's not, or it's some other material, but it's really lead. But that's why, we're asking people to go to our website,
Yes.
take the survey that we have online there, and take a picture of where it comes into the building. And that will allow us to go and figure out and help you out to figure if it is lead or not.
We're near the end of the week here. We have already mailed to all of the 656 homes that we believe have lead service lines, correct?
Yes, so if we pulled the permit card and it showed that there was lead material used when your house was built, we have already mailed you a letter letting you know that we believe you have a lead service line, and here are some steps to take.
And further from now, as we move forward, we are going to provide the filters.
Yes, so for those 656 properties, we are going to be providing either a faucet mount filter or a pitcher filter. And we'll be going out, as you mentioned earlier, knocking on the doors to communicate to the residents, what's going on, as well as deliver one of those filters for their use.
And Brian, we would like to speak to the homeowner, right? I mean, we would like to know, right, so that depending on what filter they need, right? So, I mean, it's important that I think we we meet with them, correct? I mean, this is not something we're just going to drop. We need to talk to the individual.
Absolutely, and if they need any guidance on how to properly use the filter, that's what our employees are prepared to discuss with them. Yeah.
So again, the St. Clair Shores Water Department is going to be out starting Saturday, which is, what's the date today? November 7th, so it's November 8th. We'll be on Saturday. So
November 9th, actually. Today's the 8th.
okay, this whole thing, I don't have all my dates to tell you the truth. So we'll start, and we're just going to do it till we get to every one of the homes, and hopefully achieve that next week.
Yeah.
The next issue is going forward, right?
Yes.
Matt, we've had a number of discussions. What are we doing, going forward?
Yeah, so the other part, right now what we're doing is education and making people aware. The next part is figuring out how to remove those lead service lines. And since we do have a pretty good understanding of which properties, and where 656 is a large number, it's not an unmanageable number. We'll be working with our engineering firm to put together a plan to get those replaced as soon as possible. And I know the mayor and council are both very adamant about getting this taken care of as quickly as possible. So we're looking at a very short turnaround time, hopefully starting this project in the next construction year and getting it done as quickly as possible.
I think that's important, and we are committed to doing that. So, again, this was just a kind of a brief Mayor's Corner. So just to highlight again, water safe, right?
Water safe.
We've already mailed to all the 656 homes that we believe have a lead service line, correct? We will be going out door to door with that the water filter. Although we've already given a number away. We did at the event that we had yesterday, where we had hundreds of people over at the senior center, which I think was a good turnout and very informative. I can't say enough about your department on how well they did in informing the residents. So that was very appreciative.
To all of our water customers, our water is absolutely safe. It's clean, it's safe to drink. If you happen to have a lead service line, that is all that this water advisory applies to, is people with lead service lines. There's extra precautions that you want to take to be a safe consumer of water. But again, our drinking water is safe and clean. If you have lead, just take extra precautions. Just wanted to highlight on that again.
And again, we are committed. I know, again, Matt and I have had this discussion, as I have with other individuals. We are committed to moving forward and getting this project cleaned up. So we will do everything we can for 2020 as we go forward to take care of this. But anything else? Website. Hit the website again.
scsmi.net. And if you go to that, that's our home page. And there's multiple ways to get to the lead information. The first being is there's a special alert on the top of the page. The second is on the bottom. If you scroll all the way down, there's a quick link that says SCS Lead Safe. It'll take you right to the lead page, and that web page will help you determine if you have a lead service line or not. Whether or not you're on our list, you still may want to go into your basement and check that pipe material just to make sure that you're safe. So go to that website. It's going to give you directions on how to do that. And if it is determined that you have lead in your home, it's going to give you plenty of information on how to protect yourself and be safe.
Brian, thank you. Matt, thank you for joining me. Again, I'm Kip Walby. Thanks for joining me on another Mayor's Corner.